Welcome to A Guide to Every Deck in Pioneer. Today we're looking at Mill, and this specific decklist comes to us from Kalen. Mill has traditionally been confined to Modern, but we finally got the cards to make it work in Pioneer. Mill is a blue deck that's a hybrid between Control and Aggro, where the Aggro element is milling the opponent in the same way that red Aggro tosses burn spells at their face, and the Control part is about disrupting the opponent long enough to do that. The various cards that make up the incremental Mill plan include Ruin Crab, Founding the Third Path, Jace the Perfected Mind, and Tasha's Hideous Laughter. However, the real treat is when Mill can pivot into a combo deck. Fraying Sanity is an enchant player aura that says, at the beginning of each end step, enchanted player mills the top X cards, where X is the number of cards they put into their graveyard from anywhere this turn. So, if you can cause the opponent to mill half their library, Fraying Sanity will trigger and mill the other half, thus winning on the spot, and there are a number of cards that do that. The most efficient one is Taresian Mindbreaker, which mills half the deck when it attacks, and you can unearth it for 4 mana. So, the ideal curve is to get Mindbreaker into your graveyard at some point before turn 4, either by self-milling or discarding it to an effect like Chartacourse or Jace Vryn's Prodigy, enchanting the opponent with Fraying Sanity on turn 3, and then unearthing Mindbreaker on turn 4 for the win. If you do this, then the only way for the opponent to stop you is with instant speed removal or by preemptively hating Mindbreaker out of the graveyard. However, Mindbreaker isn't the only card that mills half. Traumatize and Kicked Maddening Cacophony also do that, so each represents a combo win with Fraying Sanity. Alternatively, you can just mill the opponent normally in increments. Fraying Sanity is great with anything that mills over a ton of cards like Walker Jace and isn't confined solely to a combo piece. This specific list uses See the Truth as a build your own Visions of Beyond to get more cards, synergizing it with Founding the Third Path's final chapter, Vryn Jace's Flipwalker flashback ability, and Arcane Proxy. The biggest weakness for Mill is that it's mono blue and so has little ability to stop aggro decks since it lacks hard removal and is thus liable to get run over before it can find its combo. It does have some sideboard bounce effects like Engulf the Shore to delay damage, but it's always on a clock against aggressive creature decks. Mill also always runs the risk of its primary mill plan being bad against decks with graveyard synergies. Some notable examples in the format are milling over Arclight Phoenix and Delve Fodder for Treasure Cruise, milling over Parhelion and creatures that can be brought back by Can't Stay Away, milling over Kroxa and the fodder to escape it, milling over Storm the Festival, milling over Cauldron Familiar, and milling over cards in Lotus Field that it can get back with Bala Ged Recovery or Leer. If you're up against anything like that, it can be better to mill yourself instead, or just delay using any mill cards until you can hit many cards at once or combo off. Conversely, if a deck is highly reliant on combos or synergies from a few select cards, you may randomly mill them over. For example, you might randomly mill over Creativity's only copy of Xenagos. Mill is only in the early stages, so I'd like to see the community Hivemind get their hands on it and iterate it to its optimal version. Perhaps you could match Modern Mill even more by including Blackbird Drown in the lock and extraction spells, or Treasure Cruise to draw cards since you can mill yourself. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Mill and Pioneer. Thank you to my supporters, and if you enjoy these videos, consider supporting the channel, and take care.